Hi loves, it's Elle and welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for being here. Today we are going to give the honest opinion, or I'm going to give you the honest opinion on a few new launches. One from Kosas, one from Osmosis, and one from Youth to the People. So before we get started, hit the subscribe button, share this video with somebody you think might like it, and let's do it. Alright, so the first thing, I have hardly any makeup on because of the Kosas review, so I might look a little crazy. But we're first going to start with the brand new launch from Youth to the People. It's their 15% vitamin C plus clean caffeine energy serum. Brighten and firm depuff. Okay, so I've been using this for the past couple of weeks. I couldn't use it right away because of some skin issues I've been having, but I've been using this for the past couple of weeks as my vitamin C. Let me tell you a little bit about it. First of all, it's $68. The price point is just a little bit high, but it's kind of on trend for a lot of these multi-purpose serums. It has a, like I said, 15% vitamin C serum, and it's boosted with caffeine to visibly brighten, reduce hyperpigmentation, even skin tone, firm the look of skin, and depuff. So caffeine actually is the depuffing ingredient in there, and just so you guys know, that's why I always say for anything under the eyes that's puffy, you can use a Caffeine Eye Cream, and that will help with depuffing. It is a super, super lightweight serum. I'll show you here in a second. And when they say naturally derived caffeine, it means they have it from yerba mate, which is one of their ingredients that kind of stems throughout a lot of their products, and a guassia. I don't know that one, but that's their caffeine and antioxidants. And it says it's a gentle and ultra stable 15% vitamin C complex, which includes ethyl ascorbic acid and THD ascorbate and magnesium ascorbyl phosphate, which is 3 different types of very gentle vitamin C's. So it's actually a really neat product for people that really can't use traditional like L-ascorbic acid vitamin C's. So this is going to be much more gentle, and it actually is going to be a little bit, it's going to be triple folded because each of these vitamin C's does do the general work of a vitamin C, but they do hit it in different aspects. So it's really interesting to see. I love them using those ingredients. And I do love where the vitamin C ingredients are. It is the second, third, and then the other one is just a touch down underneath squalane. And so it's very, like I said, it is a very, very gentle vitamin C serum. And the ingredients look great. There's nothing in there to be concerned about. It's, the only thing is citric acid, which some people have a problem with, but it's pretty low on the ingredient list, which tells me that there's probably not very much in there, but it is worth kind of calling out. Okay, so here is the serum. It is extremely lightweight, so it is going to be good for all skin types. I did not feel any tingling or any kind of sensation at all when I used this. Now, of course, you use vitamin C in the morning, and this is it, but you know what it is? It's very lightweight, but it does have a little bit of hydration in there into the skin. So it's not an uber drying serum, or it's not something that's going to dry down really, really quickly, but it will sink into the skin rather efficiently and quickly. The caffeine, I will say, is kind of lower on the ingredient list, so I'm not quite sure how much depuffing capability it will have. Now, do I think these types of vitamin C's are going to be your end-all be-all for hyperpigmentation, as you know, something like liver spots and melasma? No, but do I think that it has the ability to brighten the skin, maybe give a little bit of lightening to some of those spots? Absolutely. But this is going to be a serum for somebody that is either being uber reactive, that has oversensitive skin, and that maybe can't use a traditional vitamin C. So I really think it's great. A little bit goes a long way. You only need like a pump or a pump and a half, and you just kind of tap it all over the face and work it in down the neck. So I think it's a beautiful serum. I'm really happy to see them coming out with something like this, and I love the kind of trifold, trifecta of vitamin C in there. All right, let's get to the new Kosas powders. So I have actually, I'm just pulling up this information on my phone so I can make sure I give you proper information. They have it at, I bought it off Sephora, but they do have it off of Credo, which is a green beauty site. And it is called the Kosas Cloud Set Baking, Setting, and Smoothing Powder. And it is baked, and I do have it in 2 colors. and I have it in Feathery, and I have it in Breezy, and that's this guy. Now, I think they're very, very, very similar in color. I will be honest with you. The reason why I got two was because I just didn't know which one would be right for me. So Breezy is a touch lighter than Feathery. I wish I would have gotten one more step even more down to kind of brighten the under eyes. That is the one thing. I wish I got a little bit lighter of a color, but overall, they're all good matches for me. The color selection is fine. I'd like to see a little bit more robust, robust color selection. It's a brand new product. It's $34. I actually did not look on Kosas' website to see if their range on their website is larger than the one here on Credo. What they say is, they say it is a smoothing powder, and it's a baked powder. So if you guys don't know, once this was once like a liquid or a very like a cream, okay? And then they baked it, and then it becomes a baked powder. The reason why baked powders are highly sought after is because, in my opinion, they're highly sought after, especially as we go over the age of about 30 and obviously up, is because they are a little more forgiving on the skin. They aren't so powdery looking. They don't accentuate fine lines as much as a traditional translucent powder would be, and they do give a beautiful kind of light coverage to the skin. This is very similar to the Well People one that I absolutely love. That's the kind of philosophy there. It has bamboo stem extract, which helps to balance oil and kind of soften the skin or feel to the skin. It also has passion leaf extract, which quote unquote smooths the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. And then Chinese peony, which visibly minimizes pores. So yes, it's still going to give you a mattifying quality to the skin, but it's not going to leave you super matte, which is what I like. There is no flashback or oxidization, they say. I haven't noticed it either. There is some blurring to the skin. The coverage is more of like a sheer coverage, so it's not going to be like a pressed powder foundation. The ingredients are fine. They are based in mica and silica, so just so you know. There is no talc in here. And honestly, just looking at the ingredients, there's nothing to be worried about. It's a beautiful, ingredient list. And yeah, price point for me is good because this is going to probably last you a year or even just about over half of a year. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start with Breezy. Now, I like to use it on a smaller brush for the under eyes, and it is the 108 BK Beauty brush. I wish there was a mirror in here, especially as $34. I wish there was a mirror, but it is what it is. Okay, so I've already applied my foundation and concealer, and I'm going to show you kind of how I use it and get real up close here so you guys can see. It is very soft upon application, and I'm going to use it on a bigger brush. It is going to be a BK Beauty 107 brush just because I have them here. And I'm going to be using Breezy on the whole face. Now, I want to tell you something. This is, like I said, I've been using this powder religiously for the past several weeks. And it looks pretty on the skin. Absolutely. Do I think it has a blurring capability? Not really, but I do think it looks beautiful on the skin. Now, I just dermaflashed today because I have been using this powder before I dermaflash, so I can really see how it sits on top of peach fuzz on the skin. I will say that it does, like most powders, but for me this one does kind of sit on the peach fuzz on the skin. So this does sit more on the peach fuzz. You can absolutely see it on the skin. So if you don't dermaflash or dermaplane or anything like that, make sure you use a little bit of a setting spray or a hydrating toner afterwards and kind of pat that in to get that powderiness away. So here's my face. This side is powdered and this side is not. It's pretty, isn't it? I really, really, really love this powder after I have dermaplaned. I'll just be honest. So this is going to be for somebody that wants a setting powder that is not a translucent or a loose setting powder, one that has a little bit of a shift to it because of the way it's innately made, because of the baking of the powder, and one that doesn't get very cakey. and I really, really enjoy it. I'm very happy to have it part of my arsenal. Like I said, I might go and get the lighter one just so I can brighten up the under eyes just a little bit more, but it has a very similar finish in my opinion. Not as glowy, but a similar finish to the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powders. 2 thumbs up for me for the new Kosas powders. I love them. Let me know if you guys have tried those powders. Okay. So the last one I want to talk about, which I've also been using for the past couple of weeks, is the brand new reinvention of Rescue from Osmosis. So basically they reformulated Rescue. Rescue is something that honestly I don't know any other company that makes anything like this. It's an oxygenated formula. It helps with hyperpigmentation, acne. It helps with blemishes, that type of a thing. It's a beautiful serum. I have used the original for probably close to a year now. I want to read you a little things that are different or what they have changed. So the original Rescue harnessed what they call patented technology on trilexylane, which is the oxidized lethyl orlate or superior barrier repair for signs of aging from UV damage, etc., etc. And then it really doesn't have very many other ingredients in it, the original. But how they changed it is the advanced Rescue now addresses the most stubborn age spots and photo aging caused by UV damage with a high concentration of morin, which is a super nutrient found in guava extract. So they have added this to their patented technology that already exists in their original formula. So now we have the power of morin as well as the original patented formula or ingredient to help with hyperpigmentation. I haven't been using this for 5 months because it just came out. Usually you have to use something like this for a while, several months, to really see a diminishing of your hyperpigmentation, especially when it's very stubborn like mine. They've also added our Artistry. I'm butchering these names. A marine extract found in deep cold waters off Greenland, and this amplifies the skin's ability to retain moisture while protecting it from blue light damage. That is also something else that they put in there, is to protect you from your phone, cameras, computers, things like that. So it's really nice to have that in there. I love that they added that in to the formula. The final addition is a Chinese fruit extract which stimulates collagen production for firmer, more youthful looking skin. It's a potent anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and anti-irritant. Properties are essentially beneficial for calming and healing skin irritation from acne, rosacea, and eczema. So that is what is new. I think that this is a jam-packed serum that is beautiful and really one of a kind. There's not many companies I can say about that have products that are one of a kind, okay? Now, of course, you can find vitamin C's everywhere and retinols and all of that stuff, but if you have, like it said, hyperpigmentation, acne, eczema, rosacea, irritated skin, this is going to be something that's going to be great for its reparative qualities. So how you use it though in your routine is it's usually your last step before you go into your moisturizer. So what I do is I usually go for wash, essence, stem factor or growth factor is obviously optional, but I do use as a growth factor. Then I go into vitamin C. I put this on top of it, and then I go into my SPF or moisturizer, whichever one I'm wearing, or if I'm wearing both that day. It can be combined with any product that you have right now. It's not going to be something that you can't use with a retinol, okay? So I also use it at night. I go wash, I use my essence, I use my stem factor at night, which is actually, you don't have to use your growth factor morning and night. I just do because I'm extra. And then I go into my retinol, and then I put this on top of it, and then I go into my moisturizer. So that is how you use it in a routine. Overall, all in all, I'm very excited about these new launches. I think that they are beautifully done, and I'm excited to have them into my routine. So let me know if you guys have tried any of these products, and I will see you on the next one. Lots of love from me to you. Bye, loves.